Okay, so let's see the results of the challenge today. So upper intermediate first. So some people got almost all of them, others so let's see the ranks. I'm not here, sorry, my fault. That was a spoiler. Okay, now. So Jack, 14, Octavian, Jiyun, Florin, Anita, Rochelle, and Andrea got probably here at the time cut him. Yes. Okay. So you want to see the code?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay. So the first one we had to get the average of the numbers. Yes. I always forget. Can you see it like this? Because I think if I zoom more, yeah. I'm going to go to the other view. Just refresh. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, so basically Andrea got the values, then filtered, map, and then reduced to get the average.
You took this like 2 minutes, 20 minutes before the challenge.
Yes. Rochelle did the same thing, but in one.
I saw her doing it.
One,
I didn't listen.
one single statement. Then Anita, she got the values. Then she was mapping, and then because she should have filtered before mapping. Yeah, and then she would try to reduce the wrong values. So now Yiyun, same thing. She did values, map, filter, reduce to get the average. Octavian, I don't know. He got the function name right, at least. Okay, then here we had to switch the keys with the values. So Andrea created a new object, then a foreign, and yeah, that's the same approach I follow. Anita, same thing. Florin used reduce, and then with an empty object. So yeah, it's another approach. Yiyun got almost. She knew that she had to do a foreign and then to return something, but okay. And then Octavian got it right. Very well, Octavian. Then Jack, same thing with the reduce, and Fizz didn't submit.
I didn't submit anything.
Okay, so now find the shortest word. So first with Andrea splitted the string, then used reduce to so to basically store in the accumulator the shortest. And Rochelle, same thing. Anita did a different approach. She sorted them by length, and then she got the first one. Florin used reduce as well. Yiyun. Okay. Oh yeah, Yiyun. Basically, she looked at the test and she saw that the shortest words are less or equal length 2, so she got them from that. Okay. Then Octavian got it right as well with the reduce, and then Jack
Too many return keywords in there. Right.
So he splitted the sentence into words, then he reduced the words, then I think he was trying to get the result was probably the shortest. Yeah, then he got the wrong output from it. So yeah, basically you can't return. So because you're returning here,
Yeah.
and then you can't return again here.
I added that after because the console was keep giving me undefined, so I was trying to work out why it was doing that. And I decided that I might have to return it elsewhere.
Like this code here is unreachable
Yeah.
because after return, the next statement is not going to be read, and also this result is not going to be also accessible by this because it's inside this function. But okay, no worries. So then this one of getting rooms. So Andrea did a helper function. Oh, I see.
It was time.
The time.
Got rooms, right? It was
I know what is wrong.
the rooms. It exists because it's an empty array. I just had to calculate the rooms were length. It was
And also the rooms dot thing, the room dot double should be greater or equal to 100 because there wasn't any greater than 200.
But is 200 the same thing as 20 by 10?
Yes. If
Is
you
it?
multiply 20 by 10, it's 200.
I thought it was width by height or something, width by length in a room, right?
No, it was just the square meters. Or
Okay.
yeah, so the way to get them is just multiply them. Okay, Rochelle, she got it right. Like greater or equal to 100. Anita skipped, Florence skipped, Yiyun, Tavian, Chuck, Fish. Then Andrea didn't have time for this one. And Rochelle, she got it right. She got the array, the first element of the array, and then she spread the second element that was an array, and then joined them. And Anita used a regular expression here. Yeah, but this works, but it doesn't follow the instructions because it's telling you to use the spread operator if you read it.
I can say another way is array with an array first flat.
Yes,
Yeah.
but flat. Yeah, it will flatten the array. But if you read the instructions, it's saying to use the spread operator. There's other ways as well. Yeah, like Giyun did here, for instance. She make them a string, then split and join. It works, but it's not what the exercise was asking. Was asking to use the spread operator. Okay, so let's go to the advanced now. Oops, not this one, sorry. Okay, so here is the advanced. So 2 people submitted it?
the interface is different.
Yeah, it's because I zoomed. I can zoom out.
Okay.
Like if I zoom out, now it's, let me refresh. Yeah.
Got it.
So if we, yeah, a bit of Street Fighter mode, trying many times.
It's the monster. Not too much.
Too much caffeine. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the accuracy, but then all the 5 questions solved, so very well. this looks to me that is more than 40. So let's check who got the blue tick on JavaScript. So we have Rochelle, Kanye, Andrea with 84. Congratulations.
Well, it says I didn't finish the last one.
The last one you did finish it, but the accuracy is 0 because you did Street Fighter mode.
Accuracy is
Like you didn't got any points in this exercise on
just
accuracy.
on the focus because you are there.
Like you managed to get the right answer, but not the
Yeah,
on many
accuracy
tries.
is-
Like if
yeah.
if we hover, accuracy is 0, and then the speed also. But yeah, it's okay. 84 is a good score, and Anita as well. She got the blue tick. She had the same
Accuracy is-
like
yeah.
the okay. So I'll solve the last one then.
She got
at
on
least.
Google with the focus apparently a bit there. You see,
Mhm.
it's a bit down the line, the purple
Uh-huh.
one.
Yep, in this one. Yeah.
No, the end, sorry.
Oh, the speed.
No, the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
first one and last one.
Mhm.
She did the focus.
Mhm.
But anyway, 87%.
So,
Okay.
so I got the picture
Yeah. On JavaScript, yes.
on everything, actually.
Oh, I don't know everything. If you have the rest of the things,
You
yes.
already make an applause for
Okay, an applause for Andrea. Wasn't very enthusiastic this applause, but okay. Okay, so let's check the answers. So yeah, so let's submit again. Okay. So Anita did solve it with the set. I like it, but I like more this way, even in one line. You can see how simple sets are. If you weren't to use a set, it would be much longer. But with a set, it's quite easy to remove the duplicates. Okay, then Kanye tried, Rochelle tried as well. Yeah. Then the second question was about recursion. To get the difficulty on this one is to get the max value from the properties that are also an object. So let's see how Anita did it. Yes, so she's using reduce on the values, and then if the type of the value is an object, calls the function again on the value. Otherwise, checks if the value is, so if the max value, that is the accumulator, is greater than the value you are iterating on, return the accumulator. Otherwise, return the value and start by 0, because if we don't put the initial value, this object here, first object here, is going to break our solution, because the initial value is going to be this object, this whole object. So if we don't put this 0, it's not going to work. Andrea did the same thing, but with better indentation. Then Kanye, I think she got the approach right, but then she couldn't find the way to do it. And then this one was about just returning a function with this razor name. I think it was the only thing that was a bit maybe more confusing or complicated. So yeah, it's basically this razor name equals name, and then you can use it inside the function. Oh, she did this. Oh, I actually like this. Yeah, instead of no, this is not needed. Why did she do that? Like, she's wrapping what the function is returning into template literals.
Instance of every string.
to make it a string, but it's already a string. Okay, it's not necessary, but okay. And then yeah, Andrea, the same thing, a bit different. Like if you do the this.racer name, you don't need to pass it as an argument, because the this is the scope where this function is being invoked. So it's going to have access to it, because if we look at the code, it's being used inside the function. So it's like this function has access to this scope, to this .racer name. Exactly, and that would work. Because the this, Ricardo is going to do a workshop about this, but just to keep it simple, just the this is the scope where the is not the scope, is the object in which this function is being invoked.
Yeah.
So if you invoke the grid here, like you're going to have access to all the properties that are accessible here. So this racer name is accessible because you already.
So you think it works without this dot this?
I don't think. I'm sure. No, not without the this dot. You don't need to pass it as an argument. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Without. Okay.
Like you only need to pass the season.
Okay.
The racer name is already available to use. Okay. So now find the biggest difference. So we have Anita is getting the maximum from the numbers minus the minimum of the numbers, and then yeah, make it a string. I like it. And Andrea used the string constructor. Why did you use the string constructor?
Because in Java it's not.
Ah, okay.
It works.
And it works. Yeah, it works. So yeah, basically, yeah, the same thing, but instead of doing the dot to string, he's just constructing a new string. Okay, Kaylee, she tried to reduce it to, yeah, you could do it with reduce, and then she would have to get also the greatest, and then make the difference of them. Yeah, like biggest, like she did here, but maybe she didn't have time. I don't know. Okay, find the even numbers. This one was the trickiest one.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw it. So basically, let's see. Anita got first the numbers into an array of strings. Then she got the even array with the even. But wait a second. Yeah, you need the even. Yes. So the even numbers, then he make them unique, and then she got the result. I guess is res, assuming it. Yep. And then Andrea did the same thing, but instead of in 5 steps, in 2 statements. Yep. Like I saw you tried a lot in these ones. Then Rochelle, yeah, she got the part about the even numbers right, but then the rest was missing. So would you like me to solve this 5th one, or to solve any of them, or do I leave it here? Okay. Okay, so let me change the. Okay, oops, I can't scroll. Oh, no. Okay, sure. Okay, so I'll do the last one then. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go to the last one then. This one. Okay. So first of all, the function name. Function find even numbers. Then we have.
Does remove the ability to copy and paste?
Sorry?
Removed the ability to copy and paste from DDU.
From here. Oh yeah. How did he manage to do that? I don't know. But there's a way to do that. There's ways. Like for instance, if you put, I don't know, there's probably more ways. That's just the one I'm thinking now. If you put a div on the top with a bigger set index, and you make it transparent, you can.
The thing is, like, you start with mistakes, it's easy to copy and paste.
Yeah, that's one way I'm thinking about. But there's probably more. Eh? An overlay, yeah. But it might be something different. I don't know. Okay, so now we have to return something. So we have the numbers. Oops. And we want to make it a string. To string. Then we want to split it. Like split. Then we need to filter this array to get the even numbers. So dot filter. It's going to be number modulus 0. Oh, sorry, 2. Then the next step is to get this array and sort it. So we want the dot sort. Then we have num a, num b. And how do I sort ascendantly?
-1, column 1.
No, you can do just like num b minus num a. Then now they are sorted, so I need to yes, exactly. So now I have to make a set of all these.
But isn't best to filter first?
It's already filtered.
No, like the filter method to apply it first before any other. Like performance wise or something like that.
Yes, but I'm using, so in order to filter, first I need an array, right? I can't use filter if it's not an array. So once I have the array, I'm filtering, but before I can't. Okay, so let's make a set out of this. So sorry, like this, new set, and then I need to. Okay, so I have a set with the unique numbers sorted, and I need the numbers. Okay, so let's make this an array again, like this, and now I have an array with the numbers sorted, but they are strings. So I need to make them. So now I do dot join. I'm going to have a string that is the number, and now I can do just this, the unary operator. and now it's a number. And if I did everything okay, this should work. Let me check. Yeah.
Does that only work on sets, I mean arrays, or can you use that plus anywhere?
Sorry?
You put a plus convert it to a number?
So this plus is called the unary operator. You can use it. It's the same as writing this, as writing number and then parentheses like this. So if we test it now, it's going to be confetti anyway. Okay, so that's it. Would you like me to solve another one, or we leave it here? I leave it? Or
Maybe solve one more now.
which one?
The racer, auto score racers, the third one.
The racer, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was quite easy. So this one was, you had a function. If you look here, you have a function, and then you have two other arguments. So we have to define the parameters first. So we have the function, then we have the name, or I don't know, name? Yeah, let's call it name. Then year. Oh, sorry, I can't use the word function.
Yeah.
So let's do fn. So does someone know why I can't use the word function?
Because it's a reserved.
Yes, it's a reserved word. Yes, exactly. So now I have to do the this.racer name, because if you look here, it's expecting to have a racer name inside this scope. So I have to define it. This.racer name equals to name. And now I just invoke the function return fn with the year. And submit. And that's it. And you want me to solve this one? No. You want me to solve it as well? Or? Okay. But just let me check. Yeah, we have time. So function get biggest div. Now return. Okay. So we have some numbers here. Let me just gather them with the rest operator. And we want to get the biggest difference. So that means the biggest number minus the smallest, the lowest. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort them. So if I get, now I have an array with strings. So numbers dot sort, and I think that's right. So I'm going to get the first one, the highest, the first one. So let's make it num a, num b, and so num b minus num a. I think if I do it like this, it's going to sort them as strings. Okay, so I'll make them numbers. So we can use the unary operator again. So now I have a sorted array, and I want to get the, so I want to store this somewhere. Let sorted numbers equals numbers sort. Now I'm going to return sorted numbers zero minus sorted numbers sorted numbers dot length -1, and this is going to be, so what do I have inside sorted numbers? Numbers or strings?
Strings.
Strings. So can I make the difference between two strings? Will it work? I don't know.
It should do.
Let's try. It's not going to work because it's expecting a string in the end. So if it makes the difference, it's going to make them a number. So if it works, it's going to return a number. But I'm just going to check if it works. No. Yeah, it works, yes. But it's not, it made the difference, but if you see, it's the same number, but it's not a string. So now I have to make them a string. So I could either write toString or do this. And then if I test it,
Okay.
but it's better to type toString because it's more readable. So toStrings.
Could you have changed it to strings on this line?
This,
Yeah, on the second line.
the second line, here.
After that, or could you have just put that plus strings? Do you have to do it first, then turn it to strings?
Okay, let me understand. So to make them strings, so before we had strings already. There are strings already. But then to make the difference, we need numbers.
So you turned it to
I didn't
numbers.
turn them. JavaScript did it.
Okay.
Maybe I should have done it right, instead of trusting in JavaScript doing it.
So how did
Because-
JavaScript turn it to numbers? It's through...
Because it's somehow on the background is realizing that we are trying to perform an operation that only works for numbers. So it's
Right.
going to try to, but because JavaScript has weird behaviors when doing this, it's better to be sure and make it ourselves. Oops, not working now. Okay, so let's leave it like this. What did I break now? Oh yes, the parentheses. So yeah, so what I was doing is this. That way. Oh,
You use just string, quotes, plus empty quotes.
so what is? Okay. No,
It's kind of okay.
no. Why is it not being a string? No.
Would you need to put the operation into the parentheses then? So around. Yeah, on the.
Oh yeah. Is that yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before I used the unary operator. No, forget what I said. Yeah. So what I was doing, I was making them numbers like this, and this should work anyway, and we know for sure that they are numbers. Because if we don't do that, we are trusting that JavaScript is going to make them numbers,
So
and that
again?
might be because now, by putting this, we're making this string into a number.
By putting what?
The unary
The
operator
unary as well.
is
Thank
the
you.
equivalent to make number like this, but it's much shorter number. So this is equivalent.
Okay.
Okay, so you want me to solve another one or to leave it here? So we have the all unique or the get max value. I'll do the recursion one. Okay. So we have an object, and then return. So we are going to return just a number, so we can use reduce. So let's do object. So we just need the values of this object to get the maximum. So object.values, and then dot reduce, and then we have several parameters. So we have the yes, you're right. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And now we have the accumulator that is going to be the max value. So max, and then we have the value we are iterating on, and I think we don't need the array or the index, so we need it, I'll add it afterwards. So now we need to check if the type of the object of the value, sorry, is an object, call the function again. Otherwise, check if it's the maximum. So just to don't forget it, let me set the initial value. We need the initial value because here this is an object, and if we don't put the initial value is going to be an object, so our function is not going to work. So type of value equals value equals object, and let me just split this. I think I can split it like this. Object, then call recursively the same function, get max value, and what do I pass here? Not Andrea, please. I know Andrea knows. Do I pass object? What would happen if I pass object? Eh? Value, exactly. But if I pass object, what is going to happen? It's going to be an infinite loop. It's going to be, because it's going to check. If it's an object, it's going to call this function, same function again, until it finds an object. And then it's going to call itself again, and like that forever. So
your computer is gonna blow up.
yeah.
Can you make the platform crash?
The platform, I don't think, not the platform, it might be the browser.
We try.
Maybe.
Yeah, he wants to make it crash. That's
Okay.
why I was asking.
So you want me to try that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me just solve it and then we try that if you want. Okay, so get max value. Then otherwise, we need to check if the accumulator we have now, that is the max value, that is starting by 0, we want to check if it's greater than value. If it's greater than value, then keep max. Otherwise, value is going to be the new accumulator. And this should be it. Yeah. Okay, what if now I put object here? Now, maximum call stack size exceeded. Like it has something to avoid that. I think this is the browser actually.
Yeah. Andrea is not gonna love today. We're not trying to crack anything on their side.
Okay, so there it is. Okay. We have, yeah, I can solve this last one. Now, this is the last one. So this one is going to be quite fast. We have just some a string. So let's say string, then return. Then we want to check if the length of this is equal to the length of this without the repeated values. So we have a string that has a property length, so we can check the length. Then it's equal to new set. Then inside we put the string, but it's saying to follow a case insensitive approach, so we have to make everything either lowercase or uppercase.
So the case insensitive.
Yeah, that it doesn't care about that. So basically, when it's insensitive, means that A capitalized is the same thing as A lowercase. So yeah, and then we need to check the size of this. String dot to lowercase. I think this might be it. Yeah. I missed the semicolon here, the elegance. And yeah, just with sets, just one line. Okay. Yeah, and here's the scores again with Street Fighter mode. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Thank you.